Note is also on the song, okay? This is called Where It Gets Down. This is the remix on the song. So every Wednesday, as you know, guys, we host legends in you know, and we try and give them flowers while they can still smell them. And I find that every single Wednesday, it really just gets better.
Yeah.
In fact, what starts to happen now is there's almost pressure on who the next guest was going to be. And then when you think it's going to drop, it gets better. I don't know how we are going to top this one, okay? So today we've got multi-award winning, guys, legendary actress. When I say legend, I mean legend, okay? We've got Mom Clementine Mosimane.
Woohoo!
Okay. I'm going to think of things that come to my head. Obviously, Lisilo comes to my head.
Yes.
Tlakansuke comes to my head.
How to Ruin Christmas.
How to Ruin Christmas, which is recent, comes to my head.
Poppy Nongena.
Poppy Nongena, award-winning, international award-winning Poppy Nongena.
Ma, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We are so honored to have you this morning.
I'm honored to be here.
Thank you.
Sure. So we start the same way. 7:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
What's your normal routine? If you're not shooting and you're not on set, what are you normally doing around this time? What do you normally do?
Listening to the news, watching the news, laying back, drinking a cup of coffee.
Okay.
At times I'm sleeping.
Oh, so you're a late. Unless you're on set, you're not someone that wakes up like at 5 in the morning.
No. Why?
Okay.
Why do you do that to yourself?
How?
Maybe let's go back. You're a legend. You've been in this industry for the longest time. I was speaking to my father about you.
Oh my word.
And my dad says, please ask her. She was the original influencer. Something about Ellerin's, the show. So
not the show.
So let's go back. Ellerin's what
the store. Ellerin's store.
What happens? Ellerin's what was it? Why does he think you're the original influencer?
Ellerin's was a furniture shop.
Yes.
And I think that's where my career started.
Really?
Okay.
Because I was advertising the front page of Ellerin's. They had a magazine coming out every week, if not every month.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was that little girl sitting there with a tennis ball.
Really?
Wearing a pink dress, advertising what they call tapeti.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's a paint.
It's a paint. Yeah, so I was sitting there. Yeah.
And back then, to be on something, it's huge.
Yeah.
It was and that's why when it's like, no, yo. He says, you guys talk about influencers, original influencer, this one. So let's go back. I know that your mother was a journalist.
Yes.
And obviously you are also born in the 60s. Speak to us about the role that your mother played and just some of the stories. We often speak about on the show around 1976, around what happened. And we speak from a position of not really knowing. We speak from a position where we've read a book.
Yeah.
And I know your mom was there.
Yeah.
Around what memories did your mom share from back in those days?
Okay. I remember when the TSCs and the Khozo Seatlolos, they were preparing for the march in 1976, June 1976.
Yeah.
She was the only journalist that they really confided in. When they were planning those marches, they would have her in their meetings.
Okay.
And when they had the meetings at Morris Isaacson, she would always go there. And then I remember the morning of the march, June 16, 1976, she left home round about 5:30, 5:45, because she was going to meet up with them at Morris Isaacson to start the march with them, to be there from the beginning.
Sure.
And that's it then started, and she came along with them until she saw Mbuisa.
Yes.
With Antoinette.
Yes.
Hector Peterson's
Carrying
sister,
Hector
him. And she thought, because I had.
So your mother was there.
She was there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she saw this young boy in Mbuisa's hands wearing a green jersey with a red V
neck. Yes.
Yes. And she thought it was one of my brothers, because our grandmother was a lady teacher. In Zone 3 Meadowlands. And that was the color of the uniform that we wore.
I see.
So she thought it was one of my brothers. That's what just stuck in her head. And when she saw Mbuisa, she ran. They used to have the Volkswagen Beetles.
Yes.
And she ran out of the car, and she said to them, get into the car. I'll run by foot to go to Shanty Clinic. And she ran by foot to get to Shanty Clinic. When she got there, Hector Peterson, unfortunately, was certified dead.
Yo, so the car that was used to take him to hospital was the car that your mother was driving?
She wasn't driving. She was working for the World newspaper.
For the World newspaper, yeah.
They had drivers, they had photographers, and the photographer of the day was Simon Zima, and she was there as the writer, as the reporter.
Okay, I had to start it like that. Those are questions that I was told you have to start there, okay? So,
Yep.
She's a multi-award-winning legendary actress, Clementine Mosimane. Guys, the WhatsApp lines are open on 0605842250. You can also watch the interview live, by the way. We've got cameras in studio at Radio 2000_ZA. You can go on Facebook Live, and we'll follow all of your tweets. The most important thing for us to ask the question that you want to know from Uma needs to go through under the hashtag 2MillionGangGang on social media.
Hi, my name is Kim Gillett. I was diagnosed with cancer at 32, but thankfully I had illness insurance from Old Mutual. It helped me manage the unexpected extra expenses that came from my diagnosis, and my financial
And even point out where
Lesilo.
I can say, Wabona on this one, she nailed it. She nailed everything
All of
that she was
them.
doing. I love her craft. She's my favorite actress in South Africa.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Good morning, the best team and all the 2 million gang. Brabonza niphethe legend. Umuntu osweet, onothando labantu. Ngumazi from Dala ngisasebenza eWoolworth Park, Richards Gibeli taxi. Ihamba via Cresta.
Hey, 2 million gang. Bona, Tarisimulefa. Bona, Bongani. Bona, Mosimane. Di fane tsa batho di a tlotliwa mona. Ha se Mosimane. Ke Mosimane mona. Hey, Clementine. I'm child. O no le teng mo storing se le sa kana nna go tekima motho akole. Matlhola a di bona. O no le teng ne.
Ne ke se go matlho, ke ne ke le go mazenya.
Ma, maybe let's go back. Do you remember how it all started for you, just getting into the actual industry?
I remember, yes.
Yeah. Do you remember the first show? Do you remember whether you went to auditions? Because I'm imagining back then, it was very heavily Afrikaans. Like SABC was basically Afrikaans run.
Yeah.
How did you get the roles? Are you approached? Do you go for auditions? How do you start?
When I started, they were still putting programs together for TV2 and TV3, which was Sotho, Setswana, Sizulu,
Yes, yes.
right? And then we would go to the SABC on Saturdays doing programs like for Diarora, music programs, you know, where they would have audiences.
Yes.
And then there was two guys. One was called Sam Mtolo and Willie Mwaka. They were working for a company called Trillion.
Okay.
Yeah, and the director at the time at the SABC for those productions was called Percy, and Percy would speak our African languages.
Okay.
So Sam Mtolo and Willie said to me, "Hey, Clemi, there's a program coming up. It's a magazine program. It's called Tabacha. They'll be looking for presenters, and mind you, by then you had to be very fluent in your mother tongue.
Yeah.
If it was Tswana, it must be fluent Tswana. If it's Sotho, fluent Sotho.
Yes.
Because, yeah. So because they had teachers. You know, people who were teachers who worked at the SABC. And then I said, okay, get out for audition. And I went for the audition. And Bona.
Like, full man.
Look,
Yes.
and it happened.
But how do they choose you, Ma? Like, are you... Because surely there's something that they see in you for them to choose you to even come for auditions. For someone to even say, Nala, there's auditions coming, I think you must... What did they see in you? What did you have back then that they...
I think because I was this kind of person, was very articulative and, you know, just papa.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you express yourself, for a lack of words, they say wapa.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
and I think
yes.
that was that. And then I was very inquisitive, very questioning things, wanting to know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, well, now you're the right person, go for the audition. And I went for the audition. And for me, getting that Tabacha magazine program, it was so interesting because I interviewed people of all walks of life, people of different careers, doctors,
That's amazing.
teachers, priests, you name it.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, oh my word, this is happening for me. I
Right.
didn't even think about being on television.
I see.
It was just about me interacting with these different people of different calibers.
And you talk about people of different calibers. We played the song Gamapr.
Yeah.
And you had, I mean, when I look at you, you're like the TV version of Mapru with the same attitude, the same vibe.
Yeah.
Tell me about your interactions with her.
Okay, Brenda was fun-loving.
Yeah.
She was huge at life. She loved people. There's one thing about her that I admired. She loved people. She never looked down on any person. And she was very outspoken. That's what I liked about her. And every time we would meet, she would say to me, Clemza, Bench, ngiphele acting yakho. Mina ngizokudwadla ngale acting, ngale music yakho. And I said, let's exchange, let's do it. And that is the kind of vibe that you had with her.
Yeah.
She used to have parties at her house. She used to live in Vleerhof. She used to throw parties. And wherever she met people, she would just, brush off this nice energy about her and this love about her.
Okay. The WhatsApp number is 060-584-2250. I can see all of your messages coming through. We are also going to get to Twitter now because Twitter's also people have got so many questions. Just sending love. The hashtag on social media is 2 million gang. We'll definitely make sure that we get to you there by the Twitter streets. So Asin Latlile, guys, we are coming to you there.
SABC News. Independent and impartial.
I'm Evelyn Tongwani. In the headlines, the ANC National Executive Committee member Lindiwe Sisulu says she will assist convicted former Northern Cape ANC chairperson John Block to sue the state. And the panel tasked with investigating whether President Cyril Ramaphosa has a case to answer regarding the theft of US dollars at his Palapala farm in Limpopo 2 years ago will kick off its work today. And finally, the High Court in Pietermaritzburg will today rule on whether or not to postpone the former President Jacob Zuma's arms-deal corruption trial. Details at 8.
On air. Get it first on your mobile, on the web, and on your dial. This is Radio 2000 Sport.
Good morning. Let's check what's happening in your world of sport. We start with the CSA T20 Challenge, where Lightning forced the abandonment of the match between the Warriors and the Rocks reached the target with 23 balls to spare. On to football now. Chippa United moved to 5th on the log with a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Sekhukhune United. The Chile boys scored the all-important goal from a close-range header of Itiosa Igodaro shortly before the half-hour mark. Babina Noko coach Gaetano Tembo was left disappointed with his side's decision-making. Here he is.
I thought we started very well. We put pressure on them. Our press was very good. I think we won a lot of balls in the final third. We had a lot of energy. They couldn't really come out. But the problem was our decision making as well. As soon as we won the ball, we also gave it away, especially in midfield where Siabi as well as Tami, Masia. So that made it a little bit difficult for us to really penetrate. And as well, the goal that we conceded, from a restart,
SuperSport United made it 3 wins in a row when they brushed aside Stellenbosch FC 2-0 at the Danny Craven Stadium. The win elevated Matatanza Apidori to the top of the league standings, and they are now set to take on Swallows in the Gauteng Derby on the 30th of October. On the other hand, Staley slipped down to 7th spot on the standings ahead of their clash with Amazulu also on the 30th. In another encounter, Orlando Pirates defeated Golden Arrows 2-0, and overseas, Jurgen Klopp has revealed that Diogo Jota will miss the World Cup after he left the field on a stretcher during Sunday's 1-0 win over Manchester City. The Portuguese forward has a calf injury that will see him miss the winter tournament in Qatar, but of course here it'll be summer as it will be in December. Here's Klopp with more.
Really not good news about Diogo. Yes, he will miss the World Cup. Pretty. Let me say like this, and yeah, so that's it pretty much. So that's it, and all the rest will now follow in the next few days.
Follow us on social media.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Instagram and Twitter. Find us. Radio 2000_ZA. You can follow us on YouTube, Radio 2000_ZA. And follow us on Facebook, Radio 2000ZA. Connecting us, Radio 2000 with you, the connected chip.
Uma is the one that's curating the playlist this morning.
El Shaddai Adonai.
Oh,
Benjamin
oh, the
Dube.
great I am.
You
Amen.
can hear,
Yeah.
okay?
Amen.
In case you've just joined us, we've got the legend Clementine Mosimane.
Musimane.
Musimane.
Mfana.
Omfana. Oh, Musimane.
Hayi uMosi Mazulu. Musimane.
Musimane.
Eh-heh.
Musimane. I heard that. We're going to go through as many of your voice notes as we possibly can. They are coming through on 0605842250. I think maybe let's find out what's going on in traffic or drop burn so we can have enough time to speak to you as well.
On air, online, and on your mobile. This is Radio 2000 Traffic.
Good morning. Heavy traffic coming in from the southern part of Joburg bound. So you've got some queuing pressure at Spruitview on the N3 up towards Heidelberg Road. You've then got the roadworks at Van Buren, so more delays from Elands interchange as you line up to get through to Giluli's. And a crashing on the M1 North at Golden Highway in the Devland area. Traffic behind that parks back to the N12 Golden Highway exit at Eldorado Park. Also crashing on the M1 South at William Nicol, heavy from Rivonia. And a crash on Allendale Road coming in from Tembisa towards Midrand. That collision scene near the Carstenoff Clinic. Durban side this morning. morning. A lot of pressure around Phoenix. Phoenix Highway, Lenham, down towards Industrial Park Drive. That's all very congested. Cape Town Marine Drive, queuing again from Bayside through to Racecourse Road and the paddocks. And the N2 stays heavy. Plenty of traffic pressure there this morning between the airport and Hospital Bends.
Everyone knows the bargaining bussy, the one who can hustle a man's supply of face cream in free samples. Or sister's even perfect at speed shopping, so she never pays for parking. You don't have to be a bargaining bussy. Get over 1% cashback every time you use your Nedbank American Express card to pay at Pick n Pay, Checkers, Woolworths, and thousands of other stores. Yes, seriously, save when you use your Nedbank American Express card today. See money differently. Nedbank, we are a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
ShopRite has always been here for you, and we're committed to bringing you the best value. Swipe and save on our Essentials combo that includes 750ml sunflower oil, 2 kilos Hewlett's brown sugar, 2 kilos Tastic rice, 2.5 kilos White Star maize meal, and 500 grams Right brand macaroni or spaghetti. All 5 for 99 Rand. Save 70 Rand. Price is valid till 6 November. Only at ShopRite.
We have different languages and cultures, but what we have in common is that we all want a dignified funeral and for our loved ones not to worry about money when the time comes. Trust Clientele to provide you with affordable funeral cover that will pay out within 24 hours. SMS Radio 2000 to 49708. That's Radio 2000 to 49708. SMS now. Clientele Life is a licensed life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates, terms and conditions apply.
Oh, good morning, 2 million gang. Let's hear legend. Show let's hear senatla. Let's hear senatla samsad. Ntho ke ratang ka ena haholo ke ha bua dipuo tsa rona. Ha bua Setswana, o bua Setswana. Ha bua Sesotho, o bua Sesotho. Ntho e makatsang e ke makalletseng kore o tswa Soweto mo. Ka nnete ba batho ba Soweto. Ha ba bua dipuo tsa rona, ha re di bue batho ba Gauteng mona. Ene ka nnete ke thabela ho ke ne ke mo thabetse haholo lo mmona ho the estate ke mo rata rata.
Yes.
Good morning, 2 million gang. You have the original influencer in the house, and what a beautiful song choice. Nami ngyasho ngithi every girl and boy would like to be a superstar.
Yes.
Yo ngase ngakhala.
2 million gang. Favorite woman. Favorite woman you have there. Yeah, I love that woman. I love her so much. I just want to ask Mama. I think I remember you from a kiddie show. I don't remember the show, but I remember you from a kiddie show that you did, and all the stories and soapies and what you did. But I please correct me if I'm wrong. There was a kiddie show that you did. Untombla in Kilbeck.
I remember that show as well. It's you're with like Mazlui and Gundi or something.
No.
What
I
kind of
did.
kiddie
I
show
did
was
a
that?
kiddie show. It was called Harabapaleng.
Yes.
And Harabapaleng, it was a chicken and a frog. I was supposed to have been the presenter.
Right.
Then what happened when they brought the desk for the chicken and the frog? It was a bit small for the lady who was supposed to play the chicken.
And it fit you.
And it fit me. And the producer came and said, Clementine, ons het 'n bietjie van 'n probleem. It was Louis Smith. And I said, What is the problem? And she said, die tafeltjie is bietjie klein vir ons hoendertjie. Sal jy die hoender speel?
And you were like, okay.
She's like, okay. For me, it was an advantage. I never knew anything about puppets.
And it's a lot involved.
It's a lot involved. You've got to manipulate that puppet. You've got to be looking at the script. You've got to be looking at the screen and interacting with the presenter and interacting with the children and the frog. For me, I just said, Ish.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge, and I'm going to take it.
Jy praat baie goeie Afrikaans.
That is good.
No, ek verstaan Afrikaans. Ek kan nie alles antwoord nie, maar ek verstaan.
Yeah.
Where did you learn your Afrikaans? Because I've always thought that you were born in Soweto. Then I'm like, okay, Afrikaans, maybe Cape Town. Because you're very fluent in all languages. But how did you get the Afrikaans so fluent?
Ek is gebore in Soweto, dis waar, ja. En
Okay.
my ma was Afrikaans sprekend van die Kaap af.
Oh,
ja.
Dis hoekom jy praat.
Dis hoekom ek praat sulke vlot Afrikaans.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
That's all you.
Dit maak sin.
I almost said did Maxon. Oh yeah, I'm right. Did Maxon.
Yes.
But Ma, I want to ask, do you find that the languages could be a missing factor in some of the younger actresses, with so many of our kids being so fluent in English and not so fluent in their mother tongue?
Yeah, it is a missing factor because as an artist, I believe that you've got to be able to speak so many languages in order for you to be able to perform in that language, those languages, and get more work on your side. So if you only speak in isiZulu and want to speak twanging English and that, kuba nenkinga.
Yes.
So I think you've got to be multilingual in order for you to can express and understand. Because if you do not understand languages, then you really don't know how to express yourself.
I mean, speaking of languages, Popinongena is a huge movie. You actually just recently won an award at the Silver Scarum Film Festival,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And that particular movie, so you speak all these different languages and you're playing this role of this mama that a lot of mamas can relate to in South Africa, you know, who had to live a life that is so tough. And a lot of times this apartheid lifestyle that we had to live is downplayed. And in telling these stories, you kind of bring it back. What did it bring back for you?
What it brought back for me, it brought so much pain for me. Seeing and understanding where my grandmother, my mother was coming from. My grandmother was a she was a kitchen girl.
Okay.
So she would always relate to us. Ek het vir mevrou van der Merwe gewerk, and she would give us vegetables, she would give us this and this and that. And just understanding that you have to leave your children and go and look after somebody else's kids.
And raise them.
And raise them and not spending time
with
your own. Hence, South Africa, I think as black people, we are where we are because some of us never ever got that kind of love and understood our parents. We grew up, sikhuliswa mhlawumbe umama next door, ukhuliswa ngumakhulu, ukhuliswa
who's not your real mother.
Not your real mother. Hence, you don't even know the touch of being hugged and loved by your own mother.
The conversation that we often have is about the disconnect that we as young people have with our past, especially apartheid. I feel like we water wash it.
Yeah.
What do you think we can do to make sure? Because even June 16, I mean, June 16, they get drunk, they dress up in the uniforms, but they don't know what it means. How do you think we can fix that?
Mina, I think we can fix that by really understanding who are we as black people? Where do we come from? What is our journey and where are we going to? What do we want to achieve at the end of the day? How do you want your child to be? It's so ironic. It's good taking your child to an English school and being fluent in English, expressing themselves in English, but for them not to know how to express themselves in their own mother tongue. That is so appalling. It is heartbreaking. And they just want to be these English speaking people. And forgetting, when you go up north, English is no more international. You have to speak bonjour, ça va, French.
Yep.
You know?
So it's not as important as we've been brainwashed to think it is.
Speak your own language. Understand who you are. Be in contact, connect with who you are, with your roots. Express yourself in your roots. Mama yo.
Okay, the hashtag is 2 million gang gang on social media. So I'm going to try and squeeze in as many voice notes as I possibly can. So let's pay bills and come back.
At ShopRite, you have the power to save with extra savings. I got the power. Bringing 15 million members over 8 billion rand in extra savings. Swipe and save up to 40% on 5 kilos Farmer's Choice frozen mixed chicken portions for only $169.99. And 2 5-packs of Kellogg's instant noodles for just 45 rand. Save 15 rand. Extra savings gives you the power in your pocket. Valid until 6 November, only at ShopRite.
If your car's involved in an accident or gets stolen, every cent counts. If you're not insured, you may find yourself in a fix. But with comprehensive car insurance from MyWay, you're covered for accidents, theft, and things that just jump in front of you.
Protect the things that really matter to you. Get an insurance code with MyWay and automatically go into a weekly draw to win your share of 1 million rand in fuel vouchers. Visit myway.co.za and live your way. MyWay is a licensed non-life insurance FSP. T's and C's apply.
You're listening to the best breakfast show in the land.
So today we've got multi-award-winning legendary actress. When I say legend, I mean legend. We've got Clementine Mosimane. Okay. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are so honored to have you this morning.
I'm honored to be here.
I was speaking to my father about you.
Oh my word.
And my dad says, please ask her. She was the original influencer. Something about Ellerin's, the shop.
Ellerin's was a furniture shop.
Yes.
I think that's where my career started.
Okay.
Because I was advertising the front page of Ellerin's. They had a magazine coming out every week, if not every month.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was that little girl sitting there with a tennis ball.
Really?
Wearing a pink dress, advertising what they call tapeti.
Oh, tapeti! Yes!
Oh, wow.
At Radio 2000 ZA on all social media platforms. Be part of an award-winning team.
Stay with me, and you will see my arms will hold you, baby. Never leave, 'cause I believe I'm in love. Sweet love, got me calling out your name. I feel no shame, I'm in love. Sweet
Good morning to Radio 2000.
Good morning.
So we are saying hi to Mama Clementine Mosimane for the excellent work that she has done to this Republic of South Africa when it comes to acting. She has done an excellent job. That's why even the quality of actress that came after her, they were of the highest standard.
Yeah.
Because she never dropped the ball, she never lowered the bar. So Mama, continue doing an excellent job, and we are proud of your work. Mama, your work ethics is of a highest standard, and you are very beautiful, and you don't age.
No, she doesn't.
Wow.
Good morning, guys. My name is Pumzile from Tembisa. You have a legend right there today. I'd like to say hi, Mama. You know, the other time I was still in high school, I attended Northview High School. So I met her at Balfour Park. It's just opposite Northview High School. I don't know how I ended up with her number. She gave me her number. Then at home we had a landline. I used to call her just to greet her. Hi, Mama, how are you? And so on. Just like that. She's such a nice person. I really like her. I'm glad you have her on the show today.
Mama Clementine Mosimane. She's in the house, everybody. She's a legend. We love you so much, Mama. Ke gopola go matsoko velo go Dudu Tolo as
All right, And I know this is almost like asking you who your favorite child is. When you think of all the roles that you've played, do you have one that stands out? Where you are like, actually, when I think of my roles, this is my favorite one. And why, if any?
I'm going to tell you something. I fell in love with Poppy Nongena. And my reason being that she's a true legend of South Africa that nobody else knew about. She was right at the back until the movie came about. Even the book, it was written and then there was a play about her. The movie came out and it was so ironic for me. You go to movie houses. Hey, we've got a problem in South Africa. You go to movie houses, there's Poppy Nongena, and then you get there, there's no Poppy Nongena. And I start asking, where is Poppy Nongena? Where is she? They have put somebody else on top of Poppy Nongena. And I said, I would want to speak to management. We are not celebrated enough in our country, especially by people who are on top.
I see.
Yeah. Nobody knew about Eunice Ntsata. Poppy's name, Poppy Nongena, her real name is Eunice Ntsata. She was a real person having a real family.
Yes.
Why is she not celebrated in the proper manner? Nobody knows about her. Why are our kids not taught about people like Poppy Nongena in schools? Why?
And this goes back to what we were talking about us not knowing our history.
Exactly.
Now let's bring it back to you as an artist. I mean, obviously we do this every Wednesday, right? And we celebrate legends. We want to give them flowers. But often when people come on the show, a lot of them will complain about the fact that, guys, these things don't happen. The only time that people ever speak to you or about you is when you passed away and we're saying a legend, RIP, or when there's a negative thing that's happening in your life. Do you believe that as South Africans we celebrate you, if not you, people in your caliber enough in this country? And how can we change it?
I don't think we're celebrated enough. And I think how we can change it is for us to read about our legends enough, to know about people who contribute in this country enough, to know more about them, to know what they do, where do they come from. Right now, I'll be launching my foundation.
Okay.
Awesome.
And the reason being that I didn't want to talk about it, but I think I must just hint on it.
Yeah.
The reason being that everybody is focusing on the girl child.
Yes.
And if you groom the girl child, who is going to be grooming the boy child who's supposed to be getting married or marrying this girl child? Yes. Everybody is saying men are trash. But who raises these men? Who raises them? And at the end of the day, we want to point a finger. We don't say we are responsible for the trash men that are here. So that's why I'm going to be opening that foundation to be focusing more on the boy child.
So it needs to be a collective. It actually needs to be a collective between women and men.
Yes.
It mustn't be one-sided where men are trash and now we must be in our naughty corner and that's where it ends. We need to work together to fix us.
Exactly.
Both of us, because both of us need the healing.
Exactly. And not only talking, telling them what we think of them. There has to be a communication, elaboration. Let's communicate. What is your pain?
Yes.
What are you experiencing? What was your day like? How did you get to this point where we are today? It means somebody was not listening enough.
Absolutely.
Somebody was not hugging you enough. Somebody never told you how good you are. Somebody never told you I love you enough. Those are the things we have to go back to.
Yeah. We've got a lot of people sending you lots of love on social media. And I know, so now the non-profit organization is coming through, right?
Yes,
Your
yes.
foundation is coming through. Yes. But also How to Ruin Christmas, the baby shower, that's coming. Are you done shooting it? It must be such an exciting set to be on.
We're done shooting it. It's an exciting set to be on. There's nobody with egos on How to Ruin Christmas. We all celebrate each other. And the minute it goes, camera rolling, action, we are those characters.
Yes.
We forget about who we are. And that is one thing that is so important about being an actor. Do not take yourself onto set.
Yes.
Take the character to set. And that will make you a better person.
I often wish we had more time.
Yes.
But more than anything, the reason why we want you to come here was just to thank you for what you mean to us. And I say this, we're all raised by TV. Our parents were working. Our parents were working, so TV was our parents. And thank you for being consistent. Thank you for the work that you do. And I really hope that you felt the love that we are trying to show you this morning. And I really appreciate you because you didn't have to come. Someone of your caliber didn't have to come. And when I spoke to you, your energy and eagerness to come shocked me. So I've got so much respect for you. I was telling one late good guys, normally when you phone a legend, like they're like, yeah, I'll see.
Yeah.
Guys, Uma was like, yeah, okay, let me see. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll come. And I'm like, yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. I'm like, okay, thank you for coming. So we appreciate you. And I really hope that you are feeling the love that we are trying to show you today.
Bongani, I walked in here and I could just feel the love from the foyer. I said, SAPC, somebody was waiting for me in the car. He says, I'm here to fetch you. And I said, that's right. Yeah, I'm here. You see, I told you I'm coming. But Bongani, I'm going to say something to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
If you know the Bible, I'm a very spiritual person. I love the God, the Creator.
Yeah.
There's something called impartation.
Yes.
Okay.
And as a human being, you have to impart what you have within you.
Yes.
So that people can be a better society tomorrow. If we do not impart, how are our kids going to grow up? Impart the good things and not impart the bad things.
You have imparted greatness in us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And I know the last 5 minutes the lighting was bad, guys. Something happened to the lights and the light went off when we were using our phones. Look,
because there's so much light in
we are the light.
You understand?
Yes.
And you can hear us, and that's what's important. Okay.
Give my love to your father, Bongani.
Thank you. I will. He's gonna be so excited. Yo, guys, Babu's willing. Okay, let's get back to the other things. So it's 8 o'clock, and this news is probably brought to you by Outsurance. You need to remember to SMS out to 37221 to see if you can save on your car insurance, okay? Or you can ask them for 500 Rand.
Tolaning Bongele to South Africa, to all
SABC
the people who are tweeting,
Independent,
sending voice notes.
No, we will,
Give
ma.
them my love. I really appreciate them. It's very, very, very
Thank you, ma.
dear to me.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The top stories: Sisulu threat